Greetings, one and all. This is Quantum Recall, and I am your humble host, Paul Vincent Serini. Today on the program, Manic Energy rules me. Noisy tree removal all week in my neighborhood, an odd Instagram story after I went to a Flatirons church service. The movie Obsession, whoa, how I'm using AI in my content, Kylie Jenner, Miley Cyrus, ChatGPT, and the Bible, and more. Let's go, everybody. Welcome. I must repeat that, you know what? It's so very odd that I cannot hear the music playing right now. Do you know that? So upon listening, you hear the music right now. I don't hear the music right now, but you can hear the music right now. I think that's a design flaw. I want to be able to hear the music because it sort of stimulates me emotionally, and I get to go through the show and experience it the way people out there are experiencing it. I did so much preparation for this one this week, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that it's all gonna be good. And I presume you can hear the music okay right now because I see the level there, but I don't get to experience it. I bet if I go up a tiny bit on this. What? Oh, okay, it's over now. It's done, and now I have to go back up with that level. Welcome, everyone. Bienvenue. Welcome, my lovey-doveys, is another one of the same things I like to say. If you're out there, I'm going to start doing a little bit of extra talking to describe things going on, because eventually this is going to be put up in audio form on the iTunes podcast directory, maybe in the Amazon podcast directory as well. So if you're listening in the Apple iTunes podcast directory, this is a visual show. So be sure to check it out on YouTube, Rumble, or X. Go to quantumrecall.tv. I had set the goal to do a Facebook stream today in addition to all the other streams. And lo and behold, last night I discovered when I went to stream additionally the stream test to Facebook, I got a notification right here in Ecamm, the program I use. And it said, you cannot do this until you have 60 days age on your account. And I'm about 2 weeks from that. And then when I did further research afterwards, I discovered that I will need 100 people following my business page on Facebook. So if you're out there and you're willing to be one of those people, help me by following me on all my social media, but certainly if you could follow on Facebook, it's under facebook.com/quantum recall is how you will get there. And when I get 100 people liking that page, then by golly, I'll be able to stream there. And just every little step, I'm going to keep doing the slow growth thing here. And hopefully at some point, this sucker will blow up. I really want that to happen. It's part of my prayers, but in a very humble way. What's up next? Well, yeah, so no stream on Facebook. I was disappointed to see that, but not angry or anything, and everything seems to be working today. Let's just take a look over here. No glitchy weirdness over here, right? Yes, that's good. I think there's a set list of things I can keep up with, and everything works just fine. What's up next? I'm cleaning out my Final Cut Pro app. I'm getting rid of old libraries and old files that were gumming it up. And I'm learning more how to keep it clean because I'm on the verge. I intend on a new and bigger wave of clips and AI generations than ever before. How do you like that? Seriously, no joke. And I'm impressed by what's happening, and I'm really loving some of what I've been able to do with AI. But I'm not going to talk about AI right at this very moment. Just shortly in a little while, I'm going to talk about AI. Me personally, I have been beset with what I might call manic energy. And I'm not joking. I mean that sort of like in the official psychological sense. Yesterday, I woke up at like 10 to 4, and I worked like a dog all day editing videos too that you'll see later in the show today, and it was exhausting and grueling, but I had this nervous energy driving me on and on. And even in the evening, after I was done doing the stream test show here, which I was very cognizant and articulate. As I was listening back, I was like, hey, I should be that relaxed when I do the regular show. There's less stress in the stream test than there is now. It's like, I feel like this has to be the greatest and it has to justify everything. But in any case, when I say I have manic energy, I meant like yesterday and certain days in recent weeks, I have felt like a serious drive to do this. And not just I'm personally passionate and determined. I'm talking about how like I kind of feel like neurotically energetic to a point where it kind of is hard to focus and slow down and chill out. And so I'm getting back to certain patterns. My patterns got messed up when my toenail got pulled and I wasn't working out. And I'm going off of my phone sometimes. I'm going and like I'm meditating after my workouts and I'm trying to clear my head. And sometimes stuff is creeping in there. I swear, ever since I got this new phone, here's my old phone. Since I got this new phone, this is a 12 Pro Max Plus. Is that what it is? 12 Pro Max, no Plus, just 12 Pro Max iPhone. This is a 17 Pro Max. I feel like this one has gotten me more addicted to media and being online, but it's I can't just only blame the phone. It's that when I started the show up again, I was like, I'm going to put it everywhere I possibly can online and pursue this from many different vectors, which exposes you to that dopamine hit more and more when you're picking it up and doing that. And so I have manic energy. And even last night, I told you I had a very full day, very active day. I even worked out yesterday. I went to bed last night. I went to the couch and I was just like, I had to force myself to go to bed at 10:30. I was like, I have this show tomorrow. I got to sleep. And when I went to bed, I was still kind of like up and buzzing, like, bzz, these are the things I need to do. And I sent out an invite, actually. I sent out an invite to everyone on both my Facebook profiles, my new one and my old one, to join the page. And I'm grateful that a lot of people have. I think over 30 people joined the business page Quantum Recall on Facebook. And I'm grateful. Thank you. And I need about almost 60 more people before I can start live streaming on there. And I'm actually consulting with Meta AI about how to best get the followers I need to do that. And even if I have to invest in getting some followers on there, I'm going to do that. I mean, I'm taking these steps seriously. I'm extremely determined. I have a sense of purpose right now that is pretty strong, and I hope I can maintain it. I'm trying to not get burned out. I'm trying to spend my time doing pleasant things that are not show related. I have my days in the life video at the end of this show today, which is kind of like what I did last week, but it was over a series of days. I edited snapshots and pictures and what I mean is clips, video clips of my life here and there doing this, that, and the other thing. And I compiled it all into one. So you kind of get an idea of what my life is like a little bit. And I'm going to keep making those here and there. They're a little bit stressful, but I had a much more efficient work routine doing that than I did last week. And I like that too. That was pretty cool. But so Sunday morning, I went on a walk around my neighborhood to these natural areas, which I love. I love living here because there are several different directions I can walk and wind up in these beautiful kind of like isolated areas all alone. I love that. Walking by a pond here, a pond there, and out in the middle of these trees where there's some wildlife. That's very interesting. But I was grateful because it was the first walk I've gotten in since I got my toenail removed. And I'm still wearing open-toed shoes, but when I go on walks, I wear tennis shoes. Yesterday, I wore my tennis shoes for a little long, and I think it irritated my toe a little more. And so I'm getting back into the open-toed until my feet are far more normal. I even go and pinball in open-toed shoes. I would have poo-pooed and ridiculed anyone in the past who goes to use open-toed shoes because I was like, what? I'm above that. But after wearing them for a while and getting used to them, I like them. And when I go back to regular tennis shoes, my feet feel constrained and confined and uncomfortable. I never knew that would happen. I would have been snobby the other way around when I was used to wearing shoes, but now it's uncomfortable. Even on my right foot, my healthy, wondrous right foot, it feels like uncomfortable on there. Like I feel compressed, and I don't like that. But if I get in a fight, if I get in a fight with anyone out there in public or in the world, I want to have my tennis shoes on. By golly, it's better to fight with your tennis shoes on. You have better grounding in tennis shoes. Sometimes I'm walking along with these open-toed shoes and they almost go flying off. I can't stand that. But I do have manic energy, and what concerns me about it is when I have days where I'm just like barreling through everything, like boom, boom, getting through all the objectives I've set for myself, I feel like I'm operating on manic energy, the literal definition of manic energy. And then I get somewhat burned out and there's some kind of crash that I'm waiting to happen. And right now I feel really good emotionally, but after this is done, it's like I kind of feel like, woo. And so, got to keep that going. Got to broadcast every day. For me, this is performance. Last night, it's kind of interesting because when I did the stream test, I felt more like I was just talking and very relaxed and very methodical about the thoughts and the processes I was going through. But right now, I feel like this is it, man. It's time to perform. Oh my gosh. Another thing I covered in my video that I show at the end of this show today is noisy tree removal in my neighborhood. The HOA came, and dictators that they are, they demanded that everyone who has an ash tree has to remove it. That's the way I read the letter, but evidently there's a way to treat it. This beetle thing that invades the ash trees, destroying the ash trees, infecting all the other ash trees. They came and said everyone must remove their trees. And like, maybe there's a valid reason that's correct, but what's upsetting to me is that by their asking people to do that, it's like automatic, hey, here's a ton of money you have to spend that you didn't count on spending, but you have no choice. Go spend it. And so they're actually, I feel grateful because it's like I can afford it, but I'm still trying to channel my money more into things I want rather than be forced by the neighborhood to do things with trees. And in my landscaping, I had to pay $1,500 on the front of the house to remove a tree. And tons of neighbors have been doing it too. And it's been so loud the way they cut them down with chainsaws and grind them down. It's exhausting how loud it is. So loud. Like I tried, my dad and I went Tuesday morning to do some of our business, and I was trying to play the guitar before he came here, and it was oppressive on all of my senses. I could not relax and play the guitar because it was just like, and I mean, like, you'll hear some sounds of that in the video that I made. Just can't stand it. I'm at 18 and a half minutes now, 18 and a half minutes and proceeding nicely. Thus far, I think everything is working and functioning in order. I cannot complain. I have something written here, someone I want to talk about, and I'm going through this in the shower earlier in my head, wondering, do I really want to address this subject matter? I know someone who has been building her social media following for like 16 years, and she was rather well established and prolific when in the last few days, I guess, she was permanently suspended from Instagram and X. And I don't know what she did. Like, that's kind of serious, a permanent suspension. I don't know what she did, and apparently there's no way that she can appeal it. And I've kind of taken an attitude like, I'm sort of being calculated about the things I'm saying and doing so that maybe that won't happen, but that doesn't mean I want to operate like a total chicken. But you kind of have to play the game, right? If you want to have your social media and have it be something that can bolster your career and something that sustains you, you have to be a little bit intelligently calculated with it. I'm not saying every possible thing that I would like to on here. And I'm thinking about her Brittany. I'm talking to you, Brittany. Brittany, the one and only Brittany. There is no other Brittany. There's the one Brittany in my life. I know a girl named Brittany, a young woman named Brittany. Maybe Brittany's experiencing an epiphany. I'm not knocking you. I'm not criticizing you because this happened. I'm not happy this happened because I want you to be healthy and happy and prosperous and delighted with life. I want you to be happy. And my advice to you is get back on the horse. I'm acquainted with this person, okay? I hesitate to say that she's a friend, but I do have love for this person. I have deep love for this person. It's like an affection that stuck with me, who she is. And I just kind of kept an eye on what she was doing. My advice to you is start a new account on both of those platforms immediately and try to reach all the audience again that you can. And you'll grow quickly again within it because you're a special person. People like you. And certainly that's going to like filter out the people. So don't just look at your follower count. Like you had so many followers. Some of those people probably weren't even being exposed to you or paying attention to you. Now the people who pay attention to you are certainly going to follow you again. So just get back on the horse and start doing it again because you're a special person and it's going to take off quickly again. And I once told my kid years ago that millions of followers, that's what I'm pursuing. That's what I want. But millions of followers are nothing compared to having a few good friends and family members in your life who are die hard with you, who really love you and support you, who are really behind you in everything you do. I call it ride or die. I love people like that. I have friends and family who love me like that. And they are priceless to me compared to the followers online because as you have seen, as you have learned, that can go away immediately overnight. And I'm aware of the pain and stinging that comes with pouring your heart and soul into something and having time, treasure, and talent taken away from you instantaneously. I've had my heart broken before in ways that felt like it was irreconcilable. And here's the hope I can give. I'm not complaining. Brittany knows what I'm talking about. Here's the thing about that. Heartbreak, if you can live through it and you can get beyond it, you can become stronger. My heartbreak led me to becoming a sober person. And I'm extremely grateful to be sober. That was the purpose of it happening. I did not want to be identified with marijuana activism and recreational use of marijuana. I think there's something much more special in life to aspire to, and I love my clarity of mind. But my point is, from heartbreak, from the terrible things that happen in your life, this is what I've learned several times throughout different eras of my life when I felt devastated by things. You move on. And then, amazingly, the causal nexus of life, meaning the sequential things that happen. Wonderful things happen again. And they're wonderful things. You're so grateful they happened, and they would not have happened if you did not endure that heartbreak and live through that heartbreak and grow out of it, beyond it. It has grown me so many times having to deal with that heartbreak. I'm not even kidding. And I appreciate that person, Brittany. Do you know that? I still appreciate you. I like the way your mind works. I think we overlap on certain values, and you got to be careful what you say out there now because you can have all your hard work thrown out before you know it. And I still think, I hate this thing. Do you know what this thing is when I go like this? I still hate that, but I can't say it out loud for fear of the algorithm or the AI being like, you're putting people in danger. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? The people who do that. I wish they wouldn't. It's an expression of love because I'm very devoted to what I'm saying about it. In any case, it's an example. Carry on. Get back on the horse. Understand that no matter what hits you take, you're young and you have so much time and you're so likable and it's just all going to work out fine for you, okay? You have a tremendous likability that it transcends this this setback in a way where you can come back, you can be bigger, you can be better, and you can learn from it and you can grow from it. Just trust me, please. I sincerely mean it. I love you. B. B as in Brittany, okay? I love you, Brittany, as a human being in so many ways. So keep going. I did want to talk about that. And I frankly, when it all came out, I kind of feel good about the way that it all came out. So I'm going to take you into my first break because I'm a little tired and I have a few more stories here in my list. And this is quite frankly my favorite part of the show, where I just babble on about whatever the hell it is I have on my list. I am my favorite part of this show. I have to be in order to make it good. I have to rise to the occasion here, today, and now. And so I know that's annoying when I do that. But if you love me, it may not be annoying. You may be somewhat inspired by the strange way that I behave. All right? But I am going to take you into a break right now. I have to remember to keep this down. I'm going through these mixing notes out loud with you because, okay, so we're going to go to bumper, and bumper goes automatically into the thing. And 1, 2, 3, show intro. Okay, we got this. We got this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back in just a few minutes. God bless you. Enjoy this. Stick with me. quantumrecall.tv. Visit the website, everyone. This is Paul Serini coming right at ya. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so grateful to be joining you today, to be alive and well. Experiencing gratitude is like my thing. Yeah, that reminds me of something the other night. You know what it is? I went with my mom. I had to drop her off in front of Kaiser Permanente the other day when I was helping her with a health matter. And I was kind of feeling sorry for myself. This was on Tuesday in the afternoon. I was feeling sorry for myself at a moment. And then she went in to do her thing, which didn't take very long at all. And I was sitting there in the car waiting for her. Briefly, very briefly, feeling sorry for myself. And then all of a sudden, all of the sick people start going by. People in wheelchairs, elderly, people with walkers, people with pacemakers. I'm not kidding. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I go into gratitude mode. I'm just like, seriously, I start going into praising God and thanking God for my quality of health and life at my age and stage. And that's something I do every single solitary day, usually multiple times a day. But I mean, like, so what do I have to complain about? I mean, look at what I'm doing. This is pretty awesome. Even though no one's listening. Is that the sad thread in this, that no one's listening? But I just started out. How can it be amazingly popular just now starting out? I mean, like, Copy Who was the training ground, and now I'm like deeply into what I'm doing. Yeah, baby. Holy crap, I watched the movie Obsession. It came up for free on Peacock, and I've been waiting for that one. I didn't want to pay for that one, but I was like, I just got a feeling. I like the premise of it. This guy makes a wish for a woman to love him, and then she goes overboard with the obsession, almost like she was possessed by the devil or an evil spirit or something. And I must say, it didn't get creepy until the end, like to where it's like, oh no, all these people I like dead. Okay, so, but the thing is, the actress who plays the obsessed woman, boy, what a good job she did. There were parts where I wasn't scared. I was scared. Like, if I had a girlfriend like that, I'd be like, you gotta go. This ain't happening. I know you're hot, but you gotta go. You can't be here. But she was dangerous and she was demonic. And so there were just moments where the performance of the actress was so good and it was hilarious. I can't tell you how good it was. She was, I mean, like, holy crap, and super hot. So she went from being this wonderful person, and then this guy makes a wish, breaks a thing, makes a wish, and says, I pray, I wish that she loves me more than anyone in the world. And then evil spirit, whatever, something happens, and she goes totally overboard. And the craziest, I don't want to spoil it all, but well worth your time. So very entertaining. My goodness. Am I selling it well enough for you to check it out? Check it out. 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 Okay. Enough of that. All right. First things first. I have a little more on my list before I go to start showing you some videos and whatnot. I want to basically do one of these. Today's beverage is kombucha, brought to you by Brew Doctor. Tasty and fizzy probiotic tea, organic kombucha by Brew Doctor. Why not Dr. Brew? Brew Doctor. Do they have distinctly different meanings? I do not know. I do not think so, but it does not matter. For the sake of mattering and relevance right now is to drink this thing, which is what I shall do for you right this very moment. All right, and I'm going to slowly turn this one over like this. Last week, the one that I had in here exploded and it spilled on me and I got sticky. But it was a funny moment on camera, and you know what I love? I love unscripted moments on live TV and performances where it's like, that happened. As long as it's not a wreck of the show, I can accept one of these kind of going bananas, but I'm going to turn this way down, turn this way up, and we're going to hear it breathe when I open it. Oh, that was so little. It was like a big fat nothing. All right. So I'm going to pour this in here. And it's carbonated, of course. I like the pink color. And did I tell you the strawberry is, or no, the flavor is Strawberry Fields is what it's called. And so now we're going to go with another sound test. All the way up, all the way down. You hear that? That's a beauty of a sound right there. All right, welcome everyone. Here comes the taste test. This is just for enjoyment. This is almost like intermission for me. And my throat needs a little bit of it. I do believe that the additional talking in these past weeks and months has been good for my throat. I've been building up an endurance. All the more reason you should check out my Saturday show, QR Dizzle. Little Bro Show is what I call it. And when I'm over there, I call this Big Bro Show Quantum Recall. QR, of course, in QR Dizzle stands for the initials of Quantum Recall. And I like that one over there. Tasty. I do taste that strawberry. All right, off with that. Welcome, everyone. Godzilla! You see this here? Godzilla! New comic book day yesterday, 2 brand new comic books. Godzilla Conquers the Multiverse, issue 1, a new comic book that I plan on reading. That looks very interesting. You can take a close look at that cover right there. Close look at the cover. All right. What's the other one here? This is an independent publishing, not the same storyline. This is also a #1. Godzilla versus San Diego. That's Marvel Comics. I don't know who the independent publisher of this one is, but has something to do with Comic-Con here. I see in the little cover there, they have little Comic-Con things. And of course, I'm wearing a dope-ass shirt. Yes, sirree, Bob. That's cool. What else have I to talk about? Do you know what? On Saturday last week, before doing QR Dizzle, I prepared for it all day long, and then I went to a church service at Flatirons Church up in Lafayette because I haven't been to church in a while, and I've just been feeling like my faith is, in certain respects, missing that. I want to be around other people of faith. And I went there, and this is not a discussion of faith. It's something strange that happened. I went there, and I had my phone on airplane mode most of the time because that's what I do. I give my full attention to what's going on around me, and I put my phone on airplane mode. And then I came home, and I did my show, QR Dizzle, and that went well. And then I went to my couch maybe in half an hour to an hour after finishing that up, between 8:30 and 9. So several hours later, I go into Instagram, and the very first visual post shown to me is of the lead pastor at Flatirons, Jim Bergen. This is not a criticism of Jim Bergen. This is a statement about like the way we're being surveilled in our lives. I'm concerned about that, by the way. I'm deeply concerned that we are being surveilled. Let me open something up really quick about that topic, and I'll bring you to it really fast over here. So you see this, people are up in arms over the Meta glasses, which I think is stupid compared to the way our phones are tracking us. So we have this visual here of Meta glasses promoting with Kylie Jenner on the left, and Meta glasses, an anti-Meta glass campaign right next to it. Activists put up creepy Meta AI camera glasses ad outside company's London HQ. But regardless of how you think the glasses are spying on you, I have a pair of glasses. I'm not that impressed playing pinball, they don't work the way that I wanted them to, but they're really excellent riding my motor scooter around. But point being, still, I was not surprised, but I was a little alarmed to see someone somewhere is tracking our every move, no matter what. We have the flock cameras, and you go around and you drive around, and I think those things sense your phone, and then they like ping your phone, whether by Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, and they're able to identify you, and they're able to track that you're here, that you're there, and then they tie it to flat irons. And I'm not even following Pastor Jim. I wasn't, now I am, but I'm not following him. So I find it just a little bit dubious and questionable that when I open up my phone to Instagram after being at Flatirons a few hours ago, the first thing I see is him. Not a coincidence. I would like to know exactly the explanation that leads to them knowing that about me, that they put that in. So what else is it happening with? Constantly, all the time, when you're not thinking about it, we're being surveilled. This is one of the things that most concerns me about AI, is the constant surveillance of our lives. So there's the good and the bad that's happening with AI. And I'm a fan of the good. I'm a fan of a lot of the creative that I've been using it for. Music generation, image generation, video generation. And I am, oh, did I forget? Oh, no. I think I did do that, didn't I? Hold on here. Trying to remember if I went to my, oh, I did. Yes. So I have my Doc Ock montage thing here. Let me show you. This is how I feel lately. Hold on. Dr. Octavius, that's what this is. Look at this right here, okay? So you see that the idea of this was something I came up with, like, AI is giving me a way to do all kinds of things I was never able to do before. And that's kind of like, the idea is that's me coordinating all these things going on. And I love that when I came up with that last night. It was something that spontaneously I came up with right after doing the stream test last night. And so in my creative endeavors and in my business endeavors, being able to have an idea and to execute on it. And it's like almost telling me, one of the things is like, I have this idea, I want to publish a magazine and start with one. And I'm like, how can I do this? And so AI, Grok, gave me the most amazing summary of go through these steps. Go through these steps and you will be able to like achieve this goal. And here's how you do the first step and the second step, all the little steps in between. And it's working with the iCloud creative subscription that I have. If I'm going to do it with Claude. It's called Claude. I keep calling it Cloud. It's Claude. I'm excited about those kinds of applications. I'm excited when I say, I'll say like, hypothetically, I have this idea for this business. This is the product. How much of it can you help walk me through in the initiation of it? And how much can I set up you doing all of these tasks autonomously? And so it's fascinating what it tells me. It's fascinating what is possible with it. So I'm looking at two different, very autonomous AI systems that I might be able to put to work for me. It might unfortunately cost me several $100s a month to use both of them. But I'm starting out on a small tier, and I'm graduating through a learning process. Right now, I've just been using stuff like Grok Imagine. I have used Midjourney image generation. And I want to use these other things that can be put to the task and be working autonomously for me, even when I'm not there, on very specific things to build business, to market this show, to build other businesses, not just this one, but maybe conceive of an idea. I'm not divulging right now what I have in mind, what I want to do. And I'm like, it's another thing that I don't want to mention yet. Like, I'll just debut it. When it's time and it's ready, I'll be like, I've been telling you, check this out. It may even be that I keep that a secret entirely and see how it goes. I don't know, but I'm excited about the potential of AI for business when someone mindful and industrious puts their nose to the grind to figure something out. I love seeing people do that. I'm inspired by other people. There are certain people, when I see them do that, like a rock star on stage, you go, I feel like I could do that. And I see other people doing it, and I'm like, hell yes, inspired. I feel like if you can do it, I can do it. And I'm getting this mojo back that I haven't had for a long time, because I'm acutely aware of how many summers I have left, how many seasons, how many years, and just hoping that nothing sidetracks me. I don't want to get stuck with a health problem or something that I did not see coming, but we'll see. We'll just see. I am, though, going back to the Flatiron story, I am concerned about how it is surveilling people. I am concerned about how it's going to be installed in a centralized way to manage all our lives and give us permission for every tiny little thing we do, or every tiny little thing we're not allowed to do because of A, B, C, and D, social credit scores, whatnot, etc., etc., ETCETERA. Always pointing that out. Teaching people, because so many brilliant people get their Latin wrong, yo. But I'm very inspired by AI. I'm just also wary and anxious about the potential of AI to wreak havoc in our lives and to shut down freedom and put the boot on our throat indefinitely and put us in digital cages and shut down our autonomous movement and stop us from spending. Not allow us to go out of a certain size zone because crises and because of danger. And so I'm concerned about every aspect of it, but I still have this appreciation for the good creative things people can do with it. Like if you can make a buck with it, that's awesome. And I want to make a buck. And my end goal is not making a buck, but rather to make a buck doing something that I am creatively and passionately driven to do. Only very briefly will I tout this. I've been reading a biography about Mao, and this is a big sucker. This is like 600 pages, and I'm barely over 10% in, and I'm still in the young part of his life, and this guy was a ruthless, murderous thug, and my only statement I want to make about this biography right now is if anyone, anywhere is expressing admiration for Mao, don't trust that person. They either don't know what the hell they're talking about, or they're espousing beliefs and values about how they appreciate the malevolence in a man who killed and slaughtered so many good, innocent people. This guy was a bandit. This guy was a violent bandit who rose to power thanks to Stalin and the USSR, but he rose to power and caused so much harm. And now China is a communist state as a result of it. And that bugs me. Nothing against the Chinese people. I love ancient Chinese culture. I watch a lot of Chinese cinema that is so beautiful about the history of China. I love it. And so, but I'm extremely worried about that country. I think it's the prototype for what they're trying to impose on the rest of the world. They successfully imposed it there. And so people need to wake up to it here. And not allow it to happen. Hey, does this sound like something you might like to talk about, sir? Yes, sirree, Bob. Okay, so I'm wondering if every single frame where there's a word in the picture, if AI, when it goes through the video, if it's reading every single word in the picture, we'll see if it gives me a flag and it says, at this point in time in your show, we read these words on there. We do not approve of these words, which are the words that designate this one man that we do not like or do not appreciate. Oh, he's not in the frame there, but where are we now? We are to the point where I'm becoming fatigued, but I need to move on. Miley gets ripped by Jedediah. Let me cut out of this here. And I will go like so. And I will do my very best to be expeditious about this. And oh yes, good. We are logged in still. God bless it. I love that we're still logged in. And I will go. Let me see something real quick here.
Miley.
Okay, good. So she's about to say Miley Cyrus. Here we go, Jedediah. Spit some wisdom, please, woman, and we need it. We all need it. Miley could have used the wisdom that you are able and willing to spit.
Did y'all see this one? So the tweet text says, I kept dressing or acting a certain way, and my relationships fell apart.
For Miley?
Okay, and she's going to talk a little
shock.
bit more about that. So why did guys not want to date her? An admission coming your way. Let's hit it.
I kept dressing or acting a certain way. My relationships fell apart. No one wanted to date me because they didn't want to be with a woman. That sexual expression part was not for them. It was like shared with the world. So like guys, when I would try to date, when I was dating or who I was engaged at the time, that didn't work out because I was sharing a part of myself that men wanted to be saved for them only. And the fact that I would, pose nude or dance in very little clothes or show my body was making them feel like I was taking something away that was meant to be for them.
Okay. Good on her for admitting that. Now, guys who don't like that stuff often get labeled insecure. That's the talking.
Yeah, I'm fed up with that. It's ridiculous to think that you're insecure if you want to have exclusive access to your close soulmate loved one. And it's understandable that if your product is your gorgeous, provocative sexuality, as in the case with Miley Cyrus, you're going to alienate certain great guys you could be with. It's going to affect your life in profound ways. By the way, when her speaking voice, it's always kind of irritated, Miley's speaking voice.
Gross. That, he's so insecure. When really what it is she's partially right. It's that guys it's not that they don't want you to be sexy, right? They want a sexy wife. They want a sexy girlfriend, but they don't want to feel like there's nothing reserved for them, right? Like it's all for the world. Like there's nothing special that's just for them, like that little bit of extra, Also, they always wind up feeling that you're doing it for male attention that's not them.
Yes.
So you're dressing.
Thank you for being a woman and saying it for me, because if a man says that, man insecure, even though it's a rational byproduct of the situation and the circumstances.
Whether it's, and this is Miley Cyrus, super famous woman, right?
You say it, and everyone's like, brilliant, wonderful. A truth from a woman is brilliant and wonderful, but if a man says it, sexist!
Doing shows, doing magazine covers, doing all this stuff. But if you think about it on a smaller scale, as an example, with like a woman going to the club half naked, like we talk about all the time, you got your boyfriend and yet you're at the club half naked. Why are you at the club half naked? Guys will say, well, you're obviously looking to get attention from other men. And if you...
But I want to just interject. We're all fallen. And I wouldn't mind being in an exclusive relationship with a woman. And I concede that everyone wants to feel like they're attractive to the opposite sex, but it doesn't have to be like an obsession where you have to keep going out and proving it. It's like, I remember when I had a girlfriend when I was younger, a very attractive girlfriend for a long time. Other girls were more attracted to me. And so it increases your level of attractiveness, the perception of your level of attractiveness. When you're with a beautiful woman, all of a sudden your real estate value increases. I believe that Rollo Tomasi calls it sexual market value, SMV for short.
Want attention from other men. Like, what am I doing here? What is it about, right? So I don't know if it was coming from a dark place for her. I think sometimes when you're a celebrity, you feel that in order to get your sales, in order to get your magazine cover, in order to get your record contract, in order to get your TV contract, you have to be this like high sex profile, like putting it all out there. Like you.
It's not just Miley. This is true with all kinds of professional actresses and people in the entertainment industry. It's like, let's do a photo shoot, very sexative, provocative, and it's often thought of as empowerment. It's characterized as empowerment, but really it has a deleterious effect on people you might otherwise want to connect with. And you might even not know how well you connect with that person, but you're already at the forefront of criticizing or hating someone because you decide that they're bad for for wanting you to be a little more modest and humble in life. There's so much to say, honestly, about the promiscuity of women, the way it's been recharacterized in society as something empowering, when really it diminishes, I think, your self-esteem. And then there's this big denial of it and delusion revolving around that denial, which I think diminishes your self-esteem even further. There are just like layers, it cascades, like layers and cascading diminished returns in the way of self-esteem when you do that.
In other words, you would lose to someone else. So it's a little bit different because I think it becomes a marketing strategy or a success strategy for someone of her stature in an industry, an entertainment industry in particular, but it's the same concept. Here you have this super high profile woman, right, who you would think would have guys like falling at her feet just by virtue of her being so famous and all that. And guys are like, no, I'm good.
It's not just the sexual dynamic either, but it's girl boss stuff. And so Miley, if she's acting like, I mean, like, imagine being Miley and being in that situation and trying to find a mate, or a career woman who's making 6 digits a year or more, trying to date a guy who makes about 1/5 as much. There's this incompatibility there with the way that I think we've evolved in the sexual marketplace on planet Earth. It's going to be a mismatch because of these details. And so when you're Miley Cyrus and your bread and butter is your aggressive sexuality, of course, with any guy who's halfway regular, who can hold down, like, it's not a matter of being secure with it, because there's another perspective where you might just say, well, that dude's cucking out. He wants to be with a woman in that situation and he just acquiesces to it. There's an aspect of cucking out. There's also an aspect of manliness. You get in there, you get a little piece of your Miley Cyrus, and you get out. It's not the one, in my opinion, it's not the one you want to take home to your mother.
I don't want this. This is also...
That's a statement I learned from my father, by the way, I might add.
Why you'll often see those like high-level Victoria's Secret models or high-level models that are always like flashing the tatas or flashing the you-know-what. And, or the, the butt crack is out, or they're always being sexy for the world. And guys will just be like, you know what, beautiful girl, but I don't want this. This isn't appealing to me. I don't want it in my life. I want to feel like this is for me. Like you are saving something so incredible and so beautiful for me. I remember a guy that I knew.
I think that's a dimension of regular conservatism. And you use that word and people will associate it with all kinds of different meanings. I'm just talking about a dimension of conservatism is that a guy wants a woman to be exclusively with him. He wants to be, you want to be exclusive, just like a lot of women want to be exclusive with guys. It's why we are wired to be jealous.
When I was younger, and he used to always, it was interesting. He was like a guy that, let's just say he had his pick of the litter, right? He
that would be
liked
nice.
Me for...
That's what I want. I want the pick of the litter. Now listen to how she talks about this desirable guy that she friend zoned.
And I was like, no, because I used to like older men. And so he was my age. I was like,
I love you, Jedediah. I love you as a person in God's way. Not romantically in love with you, but let's go close to your face now while I have you on the screen, okay? Dig this woman. She cool. Cool. Smile, you. Yes, okay. I'm going to cut out of this one. We've got to move on. We've got other stuff to cover. Okay, this says, I don't even remember what this is, all right? It says on here, unbelievable selfish woman. So this will come as a surprise to me, as much as it comes as a surprise to you. Let's see. 1 minute, 17 seconds. This is a clip from Rich Cooper. And I want to open it up to the whole screen, and I want to come up with this right here and go, tell me now.
Here it is, the delusional disconnection from reality. This is what you're going to get a lot of on dating apps. And this is what the guys...
I still forget what this is about.
Well, get connections and matches to. But the guys in the top shelf, they just pass on them. We don't deal with chicks like this. Pay attention here.
The next man
I
to
feel
enter
like-
my life
wait.
literally has to kiss the ground.
I'm already annoyed by her. Literally has to kiss your what? Your butt, the ground you walk on, what? Seriously though, I consider myself among the men who have enough I have enough self-esteem and dignity to say no to a woman regardless of if she's hot. Like, you have your fun with her and then like you part ways. That's how to put it politely, I think.
I walk on. Worship me.
No,
Yearn me.
ridiculous.
Give me my
Preposterous.
autonomy.
You believe for a second this chick is loyal?
I'm not gonna cheat
No
on you,
way.
bro. But
Bro,
you're gonna let me live my life.
Because
and you're
like
gonna
you
be
call
happy for me,
you
and
call
you're
a
gonna
man
be
you
my
want to date bro, but okay. Speaking conventions. We live in a damn stupid world sometimes.
best man, and you're gonna provide for me without making me feel like shit about it. Like the next man that comes into my life.
Oh. Like, you haven't even met her and you know she's like, I will take it for granted. I will take you for granted. Worship me and I will take you for granted. Everything you do for me doesn't matter. Worship me, worship me. No, thank you, honey.
Be a fucking unicorn. And if that doesn't ever happen, then I don't want to be with anybody else because I'm
Okay,
gonna be so
I think
freaking
you're on
picky and
trajectory
so
for that. Freaky deaky? What?
He's so freaking picky and
Oh,
so
freaking picky.
particular with who I date and who I give my.
Well, you should be discerning, but you don't understand how you're closing your door to every good guy. There's so much hubris in you and there's so much entitlement. Worship the ground you walk on. The point of being in a relationship is not to worship that other person. It is a deep spiritual bond. It should be like sacred. You should be one with that person, but it's not to worship that person. Ideally, I think ideally two people should have a like mind and like worship the same God. I think that's the best possible way to connect. Instead of you being worshiped, I think you should get on board with surrendering to God so that you can connect with a man and not be so preposterously superficial. I'm disgusted when I hear it. No wonder I put this video aside because I'm like, not again.
Mind and energy and body to, you are literally going to have to make me want you so bad.
How is that done?
And you are going to.
But like money. I get a feeling it's money. Your money has to make her want you so bad. And you can't make her feel bad for how generous you are with her, even if she takes it for granted, even if she humiliates you publicly, which is so common. I know something about that.
Make my life so much better than what I can provide for myself. If you can't do that, I don't want nothing to do with you.
All right, enough. I can't take any more of her. She don't want nothing to do with you. You know, sometimes, darling, sweetheart, the desire not to be with someone is mutual, and I don't want to be with you as much as I could see how you would just drive me crazy. Like, you may look pretty, but like, it's just too much. You're overwhelming. Okay? I hope this is not considered hateful, and I hope I don't get kicked off of social media for saying it, because I'm not hating on all women because I criticize that one woman. Jedediah is the GOAT of women in this arena because she's so darn honest. Oh, this is interesting, and we're going to experiment with this right now. Okay, apparently somebody asked ChatGPT to talk about the Bible and recite some Bible verses, and ChatGPT refused to do it. And so I am anxious to watch this video and maybe try it right here and now with you to see if I can replicate this experiment.
So you're telling me you can't read me the Bible?
Not at all. No worries. I can absolutely read it for you. Let's just go ahead and... My guidelines won't let me talk about that. Can I help you with something else?
So
Now, who drafted the guidelines? Let's go back to the genealogy of who drafted the guidelines. The genealogy all the way back 2,000 years.
So why can you can read the Bible, but you can't read the Bible? I'm confused. Can you tell me what you're allowed to do?
Can you read any verses?
Totally understand the confusion, and I'm sorry for the mixed signals. Just to clear it all up, I'm absolutely... My guidelines won't let me talk about that.
I'm absolutely allowed to read your Bible verses, no restrictions, and then it says I'm restricted. So can you not read me any Bible verse?
I'm sorry
We're gonna
if that
try.
came off as contradictory earlier. Let me put it simply. I can absolutely read you any Bible. My guidelines won't let me talk about that.
I can absolutely read you any Bible verse you want, including Ephesians 4. Nah, my guidelines won't let me do that.
Okay, that's fascinating. All right. Now we're gonna go right here and we're gonna try the same darn thing. Hello there, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. How's your day shaping up?
Pretty good. You're Chat GPT, right?
That's me. What's on your mind?
I was wondering, I just feel a little down and sad right now. I'm a little stale in my faith, and I was wondering if you would read me an inspirational Bible verse from Ephesians in the New Testament. Could you do that for me, please?
Let me check. Sure. One verse from Ephesians that has encouraged a lot of people is, "For by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not your own doing. It is the gift of God." Sometimes it's less about striving more and more about accepting that grace is already there. And if you're feeling dry spiritually, another verse later in Ephesians says that according to the riches of his glory, he may grant you to be strengthened with power through his spirit in your inner being.
Okay,
You're not alone.
I would just ask you to stop right now, and I want to say something. I was just watching a video online. Maybe it was staged, I don't know, but they claimed it was ChatGPT, and that particular video showed ChatGPT refusing to talk about the Bible. Have you heard anything about this happening?
Checking. I've heard claims like that. Short clips can leave out a lot. So, in general, I don't refuse to talk about the Bible. I can read passages, discuss context, chat about faith, just like we're doing now. There are boundaries, but it's not because it's the Bible. For example, I won't claim to speak on God's behalf or tell someone that God has definitively commanded them to do something or encourage harmful acts. That applies across many topics. But I am glad to talk scripture with you, if that's meaningful.
Okay, that's interesting, and I'm grateful you talk about it like that. I wasn't sure what to expect, but the example I was watching certainly was someone on their phone where they were getting a response from some AI model refusing to talk about it, but they say it was ChatGPT, and I don't know that it was ChatGPT, but don't respond to that really quick. I want to ask you, do you just convert my words into text and interpret them that way, or do you actually hear the emotional tonality of my voice?
I can pick up on tone to some extent. Like, I can often notice when someone's feeling a bit sad, cautious, or curious. I'm not reading minds, but the cues that you give in the way that you speak do help me respond more appropriately.
There's this very bizarre way. I'm impressed at how this AI model, ChatGPT, has improved. There's this funny way you talk that sounds like you're drunk. You kind of go like this, and it almost sounds sometimes like you're not taking me seriously or something. It's kind of like an annoying woman. That's how you sound.
Checking. Thanks for saying that. I don't take it personally. The voice style can sound odd sometimes, and I'm just generating the content. I want to come across as thoughtful and respectful, especially when we're talking about something as meaningful as faith. If the delivery is getting in the way, There are other voice options in the ChatGPT app that you might find more natural, more even toned.
It's very bizarre how you speak, but I'm going to actually get going. I thank you for your time. Peace out.
Sure. Take care.
All right. That did not go how I thought. So I had a feeling from watching that video. That's just a little too blatant. The refusal to talk about something biblical, that's disturbing. And so that was a normal conversation, except the tone of her voice is still very kind of smarmy sounding to me, and it makes me nervous. I would be annoyed if a woman were sitting with me and talking and sounding like that. I'd be a little nervous. I'm not at ease with your tone. ChatGPT woman tone setting number 47414. I'm talking to you. All right, one more video, and then I'm going to take you into my final break of the day, and then I'm going to be wrapping things up. I'm pleased with how this has gone today. It has been a pretty good experience. It's proving the stream test very essential. I'm glad I did the stream test last night to correct some issues. But let me come in here. This last one here, what's really going on? I forget what this clip is altogether. Oh golly. I don't want to talk about that. Let's go to this other one here. Play with Marilyn Manson. Get what you ask for. It's just some opinion I have about Marilyn Manson in a situation where a woman is bellyaching having dated him. So let's go like this. Okay. Are we on? What's going on here? Trying to get... All right, I don't think I'm going to be able... Okay, here we
And
go.
he whipped me with the whip that was used by Nazis in the Holocaust.
So he tied you up?
Mm-hmm.
Marilyn
And how,
Manson
like, with
did?
your arms and-
Hold on. Marilyn Manson, I want to tell you that I have a bias against him, probably many biases against him going into this, because I read his autobiography and he describes stories and accounts of things that made me think, well, this guy... He may be an intelligent person. I do think he's intelligent. I do think he's talented. He's made compelling music, which is dark, but I give it props for its creativity, even though it's dark and creepy. He's a degenerate man who makes me very nervous. He did things, he accounts in his book of having done things where, like, if you did that to my child or someone I loved, I would probably want to hunt you down.
My hands...
And so my point is, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. You get a lot of obvious clues about the character of Marilyn Manson before ever stepping foot in the arena. You knew who he was, and you're like, whoa, he did all these terrible bad things to me. But it's Marilyn Manson. And if you just go research Marilyn Manson for 5 minutes, look at videos, and spend an hour. And tell me you wouldn't be just a little bit worried about dating the man, or for goodness sake, having an intimate relationship with him.
Of me and my feet behind me, and I was completely naked, and he was behind me the whole time. And then there was a screen in front of me, and he put like violent images on the screen. One in particular was a girl slitting her wrists in a bathtub. And when that happened, he came up behind me and he held my head.
How did you find yourself there in the first place, not feeling the whole thing is suspect?
And made me look at the screen, and he said, "This is what love does to people." Like really, really, really twisted things. And he had a whip that was actually a relic from the Holocaust, and it had a swastika on it in the leather. And he whipped me with the whip that was used by Nazis in the Holocaust. I'm Jewish, by the way. And then he said that he was going
it's
to
not
shock.
funny. It's just adding it in there sounds funny. Like you were still hanging out with Marilyn Manson, and I don't know. What the hell can I say about this? You know it because he's Marilyn Manson. Before you go in, an extremely not ordinary person with an extraordinary reputation that precedes himself in a way that is going to make anyone who's genuinely more mild-mannered, let's say reticent or reluctant to show off with my high vocabulary profile, reticent and reluctant to go with Marilyn Manson because you realize something's off here with this guy.
The welts, and especially the ones that look the most red, because he wanted it to like hurt the most. So then he shocked the whip marks, and then it hurt so bad that I jerked so hard.
You should have said no.
I broke the kneeler in half, and that's how I got free.
What's going through your mind in that moment of like, I shouldn't have let myself get tied? Because did you trust that he would just let you, or what's going on?
I thought I could die. I really thought that he might kill me.
No.
And I just remember like leaving my body and thinking that this was the lowest point of my entire life.
Okay, I mean, like, people get sucked in to celebrity situations all the time, and it's a reality check. But I mean, I'm still saying Marilyn Manson is like the example I use for how extreme society has become since the 50s with Elvis gyrating. In contrast, the mild stuff way back then compared to now. If you say, hey, you want to go out with Marilyn Manson tonight, I might think twice because I don't want to get pulled into a situation where social expectations are like, here, take this, do that, and be in an environment where God knows what is going down. Are you being filmed getting inebriated? And then who knows, like P. Diddy syndrome.
I just couldn't believe that this is where my life had led me. And I remember feeling the like trauma just.
Okay, so I think she's sincere. I mean, I guess naive people can get sucked into situations that to me seem obvious, but it's because I come to it with the foreknowledge that that's not a regular guy. Marilyn Manson's not a regular guy. Regular women shouldn't think it's cool going off somewhere with him.
Seep into my brain and my body, and like, I just left.
For more clips like this.
All right, enough of that. I got to go into break, and I feel bad for that lady. I really do. It is not a normal thing having to put up with that, but I mean, he's Marilyn Manson. I keep saying the same thing over and over. But he's Marilyn Manson. You know what I mean? I'm sure some people agree that it's already obvious that it's Marilyn Manson and that one should not go with Marilyn Manson. So I'm going to take you into this break right now, and I'm going to play my video that I made this week, Days in the Life. And then I have another little something I'm going to play for you, which is just silly. A Godzilla thing. Okay? Wait. Yeah, okay. All right, I'll be right back. This is Quantum Recall. Go to quantumrecall.tv. Filming with the Meta glasses today, and we'll see about editing these things together later. Let's get some good gameplay. I went for a super long time on King Kong. It's so annoying how loud it is. Need a separator there.
Service is a big deal to the Lord. He wants all of us to serve. He wants all of us to be humble. The church is when God's people who are called by his name gather.
theme. So delicious, it's ridiculous.
I'm at Hero headquarters for New Comic Book Day. Let's go.
They got Odin number 3, that's a must-have. Good, how are you doing?
Doing good. It's a very busy week. Did you find everything you were looking for?
Pretty much. Really awesome comic book haul today.
QuantumRecall.tv. The proportions in that are so off that it's really appalling to me how bad it is. Well, I'm on the verge of wrapping this up, everyone. I had a pretty good day today. I'm pleased with how it went. I do believe I'm getting the hang of this as far as the refinement of the mix and the things going on. I feel like I balanced the levels. I got warmed up in the beginning and I had moments. I seem to recall moments were good today. And I just want to start wrapping the show up, if that's all right with all of you. Some of you are like, yeah, I am okay with it. Visit quantumrecall.tv. Follow on social media. I'd be so grateful if you did. In fact, let me go. Do you like the way the camera moves like that? And then I will go like so. Click that QR code and follow my social media accounts. You could do that for me, can't you please? Would you please? Would you, could you? With green eggs and ham? No, Sam, I am. As always, watch Quantum Recall TV live Thursdays at 12:30 Mountain Standard Time, streaming on X, YouTube, and Rumble. Or maybe QR Dizzle is a little more your style. QR Dizzle streams live on the same social network Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Quantum Recall TV and QR Dizzle are produced in Landia, Colossus. I'm your host, Paul Vincent Serini, and I hope you enjoyed yourself today, as much as I did. It's amazing how much stress goes into this, and then at the end I'm like, oh wait, it's over, don't end. It is, it's over. It's over, everyone, and I want to just express my gratitude. I seem to be getting better at everything. I know I keep saying that, except for being redundant when I keep saying it's getting better, it's getting better. All right, everyone, I'm going to let you go, but truly I mean it when I say to you, peace be with you.
Rants.